All right, now I got it. Okay, we're recording. Hey, welcome to our 80-day obsession test group kickoff call. Okay, so here's how it's going to go down. We are going to tackle the nutrition plan and any questions that are out there right now. Anything that Christy and I, Marissa, anybody who's in the coach test group as well cannot answer correctly. We all have our own theories about how certain things should work, but we have been given firm instructions not to coach about something we don't know what we're talking about. Autumn's made this very clear. So if we cannot answer the question, one of us will go to the coach test group. We will ask the question, tag Autumn, get a response so that we're giving you guys the best information possible. So I'm going to probably tackle nutrition plan for the most part. And then, of course, I know everybody has like great ways of using the containers and all that stuff. So we want to share as many best practices as possible. Christy's going to talk about the workouts, and then from there we'll kind of have just open discussion, make sure everybody's feeling good about the plan that they are on, feeling like they've got a good course of action for prepping over the course of the weekend to be set up for the week, and kind of want to just take this time to just everybody start with a clean slate and hit the ground running come Monday. Does that sound good? Okay, so would we prefer to talk about workouts or nutrition first?
Workouts.
No. Okay. Christy, why don't you talk about workouts? I want to organize a couple more things for the nutrition.
Okay, deal. Okay, so I know a couple of us in the group, we talked about doing a fit test. Okay, so we as coaches are big fans of finding non-scale victories, right? Like the scale just tells like a little tiny portion of our results, all right? And typically it lies, right? Like it's just so, it fluctuates a ton and it doesn't tell the whole story. Like, you're typically like, for me, I get excited when I bump up weight because that means that I am like getting more muscle, right? So I love getting stronger. So that's why we thought about doing a fit test, because that shows us outside of the scale that we are getting stronger. So from the groups that I run, typically this fit test is comprised of just 3 things. And I think it would be cool to do it like each month. It's like after month 1, after 4 weeks, we'll do it. After 8 weeks, we'll do it. After 12 weeks or 13 weeks, when we're done, we'll do it. And so what it is basically there's 3 things. So the first one is you just see how long you can hold a forearm plank for, right? I can like demonstrate, I think we all know what that is, but I could do like a quick mock one. But you just do it with good form. How long can you hold it, right? And you just time yourself. Obviously that like helps with the like ab strength, and I mean, it's really almost a total body thing. Then the second one is you just, with good form, how many push-ups can you do? And we're going to try to do like regular off your knee push-ups, right? Just how many you can do. And if the number is 0, then that's okay, right? Like we are just going to own where we're at the beginning. We're not going to ever shame ourselves for where we're at. We're just going to be like, all right, this is where I'm at, and I'm excited to see my numbers go up, right? That's how we need to approach it. Not ever shaming ourselves. And so with that, if the number's 1, if the number's 10, it's just how many can you do with good form in a minute, okay? And then the last one is how many or how long you can hold a wall sit for. And so I feel like those 3 things are pretty good with overall test strength, right? So for the wall sit, we want to have like our backs against the wall and our knees, everything at 90 degrees. And that's, like our arms down, not on our, do you have something to say, Margie?
I have a question. So
Yes.
when we're going back to, sorry to interrupt, the push-up, can we go ahead and count how many regular push-ups we can do, and then also keep going, drop to our knees, and add modified to those as well for the statistics?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
And just note that, like, you did, 5 regular ones and then, 14 knee push-ups. Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
and then when we do we do our initial, and then what you like is the second time we report is you usually like to just know what we've progressed. Like we did 4 more than the last time. You don't need the actual
Absolutely.
stat, right?
Yeah. I mean, you could put both, right? But I think the super important part of it is doing the math there to see, oh my gosh, like I did, I held my plank for 35 more seconds than last time. That's something that's great feedback for you knowing like how much stronger you're getting.
Okay.
So yes, thank you for the reminder. Hey girls, my kids just came back. We're in a hotel. We were swimming at the pool. Hi, I'm on a call. Okay, I'm gonna go in the bathroom now. Yeah, or out in the hall. So yeah, did you have so much fun? I know. I'm on a call with some friends. Sorry. I know. That's Margie and a lot of other friends. Thanks, guys.
Hi, girls.
Okay, so yeah, so that's what we're gonna do for that. You're going to so we're gonna start from the beginning. I want everyone to do it, record your results. So it's how long can you, how many push-ups in a minute with good form, and you can do regular and then modified. How long you can hold a forearm plank for, and then how long you can hold a wall sit for time. And then you'll post that, your, fit test results. And in a month, I'll remind you all, and you're going to do it again. And then you're going to do the metrics of how much further you got. So then again, we'll do it at week 8, and then we'll do it at the very end. And then we're going to do overall, like the end, like, okay, from the beginning, I was like at this, and now I'm at this. Like this program was awesome. I'm so happy that I dedicated myself to it because I got a lot stronger. So that's the first thing. And then another thing, just for workouts wise, I know that a lot of the times we, have probably been doing like 30-minute workouts, right? So this is kind of like double the time there is 2 short days, but these are all like an hour long. And so I just want to make sure that we set up ourselves for success and that we really like make like an appointment with ourselves of like, when we plan to do our workouts, let's do them, right? Like we've dedicated ourselves to this group, and just want to make sure that we recognize that it's going to be hard sometimes to do an hour-long workout, and that's why our nutrition is going to be so key, and like our hydrating is going to be so key, because our bodies probably aren't really used to doing hour-long workouts like we have in the past. So just like, mentally, just know it's going to happen, and it might be a little bit hard in the beginning, but we can do hard things, and it's going to be like so fun. Like, I mean, raise your hand if you've done like a little obsessed. We've all kind of dabbled in that, right? Those are some good workouts. Like I love the sliders, the bands. I really haven't done much with those, and holy cow, it takes it up to the next level. So it's just super exciting. And then let's just make sure that we work, just focus on our form with everything that we're doing. If you didn't catch the isolation video that I did, make sure you check that out. And that we actually engage all of our muscles when we are doing our reps, because then you'll get so much more out of it, like squeezing up at the top, of our squats, or just feeling like, brace yourself while you're doing things, and you'll see a lot more results. But that's really, I mean, workouts wise, we, make sure that you have like the calendar out in front of you, and that you do, that you do the workout that we're supposed to, the day we're supposed to. Make sure that you really pay attention to that rest day. Like it's going to be like so important for us, because these are just more intense workouts. So like no matter what, like make sure like that on Sundays we do a rest day. Like it's not a day to do something else, to try something else, to just really self-care. Like Autumn really was like drilling us in that coach group of like, no, it is a rest day, self-care. You need to, if you have a foam roller, Tiffany posted that in the group, use those. Make sure we do extra stretching, pay attention to your body, because it needs some loving. Tiffany, right now, did you want me to go, anyone have any questions about workouts? And then also, did you want me to go over like our, that, whatever it's called, I forgot, the one that we get points. But Margie, I do see you have a question. Okay, so I'll go over that after Margie's question. Yeah.
Okay. My question is on foam rollers.
Yeah.
As you know, I'm petite. So how do you know? That's the only thing I don't have because I'm not sure what size and what thickness to get. So what do you recommend, or how do we know what to purchase?
Oh, sure. For me,
And length, because
yeah,
they come in different lengths.
right. I mean, for me, I like the bigger ones, just because I feel like you can get more surface area when you're foam rolling. And I like the harder the better. So I like the ones that have some pointy things
Bumpies.
sticking out. Yeah.
The nubs.
Yeah. What do you say?
The nubs. I call them nubs.
Nubs. Totally. That's perfect. I like those. And you know what's crazy? I've heard that even using PVC pipe I know it's super hard, but I've heard that that's actually pretty darn good to if you're really hurting. For me, I love when I go get massage, I'm dig in, right? So I've heard that that's good, and obviously that's I don't know if you have any PVC pipe laying around, but that is an option. But even not in my foot or whatever, stepping on a golf ball and rolling your foot on a golf ball. You can even do that for a softball, a hard softball, the ones they actually play softball with. Using a ball like that for if there's a knot in your back. These are just other options outside of just going and buying a foam roller. They're helpful for me. I've done college sports, and that's, I don't know, I've been around the sport world for a long time, and they were super helpful to us as we were competing. So, does that answer your question, Margie?
Yes, thank you.
You are welcome. Bye. Good luck. You're gonna kill it. I can't wait to watch you. I don't know, 9, 10 o'clock. Sorry. I'm gonna track meet for my sister. She's running in college too, and so what was I gonna say? That answers that question. Oh, let's go over the points. Okay, so hopefully this didn't confuse you guys and just gets you excited. We're gonna do prizes. It said t-shirt prizes.
Do you want me to pull it up while you're going over it? Okay.
Yeah. I know, I'm pulling up the picture on my phone.
Give me 1 second. I'll do a share and we'll pull it up so we're looking at it while you're walking us through it.
Oh, perfect. Then I guess I don't need to find out my phone since you're pulling it up.
Well, yeah, that works. Give me 1 quick second.
You get it.
Okay, everybody see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so as we see here, we've got daily points, we've got weekly points, and we've got one-time point altogether, right? So I think it'd be good to have you don't need to necessarily every day post how many points you got. You can if that's helpful for your tracking, but at least every week we should be update the Google Sheet so that it would just be more stressful for you. Okay, at the end of the month doing it, oh, I had this many. Let's just plan to do it every week. Let's make sure that we update our scores in the Google Sheet. Okay, so I'm just going to go through what it means. I'll actually start at the bottom. The one time. Okay, pretty self-explanatory. We're all keeping track of our own points. It says before pictures, measurements, and share. Okay, so you get 10 points if you do that, right? The before pictures, you can do them technically however you want, but the full body, I love doing them in a sports bra and just spandex, just so that you can see things better. Obviously, it's a lot more vulnerable to share, and it's harder to see yourself like that. So you could do it how whatever you want, but typically the tighter fitting clothing, the better, right? So you can actually see what changes you're making, right? Again, one of those non-scale victories, right? If you can see the changes, then they're happening, even if technically the scale doesn't say that. So then measurements, we do arms, we do our waist, we do our chest, we do our hips, our butt, whatever you call it. And then we do the thighs and calves. That's what I like to do. Did we post those of the how-tos? Tiffany, I can't remember.
You know what? I don't think I did that video, but I'll grab that Beachbody video.
Yeah, we'll make sure to post
Yeah, no problem.
Just as a reminder of how to do it. Best case is to have someone do it for you, like, husband or whatever. Again, vulnerable, kind of hard to do sometimes if you're not comfortable with it, but it is best case because it's super hard to do it on yourself. I've done it before and it's just different.
Hard.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what that is, right? So one time you get 10 points at the beginning of everything and then 10 points at the end, right? So weekly, every week we want everyone to share their meal plan in the group, right? Do the meal plan and share it, all right? So that'll be really fun just because we might get bored in what we're eating every day. It just gives us more, more options of what we can try out ourselves. And then it forces us to actually do it, right? Hoping that you're motivated by prizes. I know I am. I think a lot of people are. The groups that we've used this system in the past, people are all in and super excited about it. So that's what that point is, right? You just want to, and it doesn't have to be completely as, make it as detailed as you want. For me, the more detailed, the better. The less decisions I have to make about my food every day, then the easier it is for me to stay on track. So if they're all written out pretty specifically, then it's just easier for me to do it. So I recommend that, but we'll do it for ourselves. What that looks like. Some meal prep, right? Like if you're hard boiling your eggs, or if you are, doing a ton of oatmeal, and you're, or you're threw a bunch of chicken in the crock pot or the Instant Pot, then just snap a picture of it, right? And share it in the group too. All right. So, and then that's what that picture is. Anyone have any questions about that? We know what that is. Some meal prep. And then for me, as meal prep goes, let me just go a little bit further into what I do. I even portion out, if I go to the store and get a bag of baby carrots, I will take 1 cup of carrots and I'll put it in a snack size bag, and I have 20 of those in my fridge. Same, I do that with my snap peas. I do that with celery. I do that with whatever the portion is for your hummus. It's kind of a waste of them, the bags. Quite eco-friendly, but it's it's what I do to stay on track. And I work part-time, and so it's just easier for me. And I've got 3 little kiddos, so that's what works best for me. Having those, you've seen those on Amazon, the meal prep containers, super helpful. I do the hard-boiled eggs. I do chicken once a week. What else do I do? That's typically about it. So for me, that's only an extra hour of my time to make it happen, but it's super important. Okay. Share part of our journey on social media. Again, you can do whatever you want for that, but just focus on the wins that you're having, right? And it's really fun to share those things, even though it's hard, but you'll have a lot more cheerleaders than you think you do when you share that. And so whatever it looks like to you, oh my gosh, I woke up 5 days, early this week to get an hour-long workout in. That, something as simple as that. Or, you can say I've got, more confidence. I tried on a pair of jeans that were, a little less snug today. That was super exciting. Or anything like that. It's just, fun to get a big group rallied around you and looking for your success. And the coolest thing about it is that you, by sharing your journey, will be inspiring other people to, help oh my gosh, if she can do it, I can do it. And that's the coolest part about it. That's what we love as coaches in sharing, is because, we've got people that send messages to us behind the scenes saying, oh, thank you so much for sharing that. I'm all in, right? It's just really fun to do it that way. So let's go to the daily points. So supporting others in group. Well, I'll start from 1. Sorry, I'm doing this really backwards. Workout and check-in, right? Sweaty selfie, and just say you could, whatever that looks like. You could say I nailed that today, just intense face or whatever you want. We know what that is. Just make sure that you do your daily workout. You don't necessarily have to share. The only ones that say share, like I want you to share that in the group, right, or on social media. But for me, it's fun. I think it's really fun to like see everyone's sweaty selfies and to, you know, rally around them and, you know, but you don't necessarily have to. That's just a daily checkpoint for you. Water, we need to drink half of our body weight in ounces. Like, you know, you're 160 pounds, make sure that you're drinking 80 ounces of water a day. We're probably likely going to be sweating a lot in these workouts. So honestly, bumping that up 10, 15 ounces would be a good idea. But at least for points wise, drink half your body weight in ounces. Drink your Shakeology every day, you know, make it happen. You can share those pictures if you want. You don't have to. Just make sure you're doing it because it makes a huge difference. And holy cow, like that's one less thing that you technically have to prep and one less meal you have to think about. So that's why I love it. And it gives us energy for the rest of, you know, for our workouts for the rest of our day. No desserts, sugar or treats. It's going to be hard, but guess what? It's not really in the meal plan. So it's having that point should technically be a no-brainer if we're really focusing and doing the meal plan. Again, this is not about perfection. It's just we're kind of going the next step, doing a test group to see like, what can I do, right? Like I've given up before, and this time I'm going to see what it's like to not give up, right? We've all seen that phrase. So that's what that one is. Track and report your food, okay? I think, you know, like that can technically be however you want, but if it's, you know, at the end of the day, I nailed it, you know, this is what I ate or whatever you want that to be. You don't necessarily have to like do line by line. You can if you want, but if you're tracking, like if you already have it written down and you just have like boxes of what you're eating, then you can just like snap a picture of that if you want. I'm just giving you ideas of what it could do. And then the last one is support others in group. Like that's really important. And that's what helps us to stay on track is when you're in there, not just relying on us coaches feedback, but if everyone else can like rally around each other and like, oh my gosh, you nailed it, way to go. Or, you know, if someone's, we just want it to be an open environment where everyone feels comfortable in where they're at on their journey and sharing those successes, sharing the things that aren't going well, so that we all can just support each other and give each other some extra love. So anybody have any questions about those?
Awesome.
Okay. All right. You're on the food.
Okay, sweet. So, okay, a couple things though before I move on to food, because as we do these calls, I just always think of more and more things. So going back to the foam roller piece, I was going to show you my foam. I have the 3-foot foam roller. I wouldn't change it for the world. I totally agree with Christy. And if you get the one that is firmer, the more you use it, it starts to defoam. I don't know if that's the right term, but it starts to have some give, and then it's even better because then it's like really conformed to your body. And then, I've probably had mine for like 6 years, you guys. So if you're spending $30 on one, it is a really great investment. 2 other tools that I also have. So I have really tight hips and I have a lot of IT band issues, not as much now since I'm not running as much, but I have 2 other tools that are also really great. And I posted one that was similar to this. Lots of runners use this. So if you have like tight hips or like you have a spot that's just tough to get into, sometimes having something, it's still really hard. I think it's made out of PVC. Now that you mentioned that, it's like hard plastic. But again, it's kind of that same general benefit of a foam roller and you're like massaging your muscles. Now, another tool that I bought this year that I am loving, it is for deeper digging. I'm going to just say digging into your muscles. And I bought one of these fascia tools. So fascia is the tissue underneath your skin. It's kind of conformed and it can be pretty tight. I think I've seen some ads for this. It's like related to like cellulite reduction and other things, because your fat gets caught up in your fascia tissue and then it kind of like bulges through, and that's cellulite, and that's, whatever. We all have fat. But I have started using this, and what was that, week before last? Oh, the weekend, whatever weekend we had, Super Saturday. Was that just this last week? I was so sore. I did a little obsessed legs in the morning, and then we had our super event on Friday night with Chris Downing, and I wanted to like kick him in the shin. We did lunges for like 8 minutes on one leg. I could barely walk. So the next day I got up that morning and I used this, and sometimes I use it after I work out, just like over my like yoga pants or whatever. But if you really want to get into your fascia tissue and you want like a lot of blood flow, and that's what helps create like faster recovery, is getting that blood to the surface and a lot of circulation. And that's the benefit of foam rolling and like the stick, the tennis ball, the golf ball, all that kind of stuff. This though just gets a little deeper into the muscle. And between using this and detox baths, I felt better within probably 3 or 4 days, to the point of like being able to go 100% again, which when I use my foam roller, I still feel awesome, but the recovery is not always quite as fast to where I'm feeling like I feel really good. There's also a lot of great studies behind that. So if you are a migraine sufferer like I am, you use it. I mean, you can use it on your arms. You can use it across your chest. Funny enough, you can use it on your head. There's fascia tissue that surrounds your brain. And I mean, the science behind it is amazing. So if you're interested in that, I will give you a link to get one. You can get them on Amazon or anywhere else, but it's my new favorite recovery tool at the moment. Okay. Also, as we're talking about food, we're going to talk about the portion containers. Everybody, I'm assuming, is very familiar with our portion containers, right? And using them for meal prep. Is there anybody that is not familiar with our color-coded containers? Okay, awesome. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. Ash and I were talking this morning about like how we're going to like prep up for the week. I personally am in the camp of I love having my containers. I love to use them to prep. I do not use them a lot to like put my food in and carry with me to work or whatever. Fruit, yeah, I will. Maybe, I mean, at this point, probably everybody's like me and has at least 2 sets of containers. So it's easy to like just do my carrots or do fruit in the purple and green and carry those with me, wash them out at night, put some more in, whatever. I also, were these the kind of portion containers you were kind of talking about, Kristen? So I think everybody on my team probably has a set of these by now, but if you don't, they're awesome. I'll give you guys a link for these too. Buy them on Amazon. You can get a 20 pack of them for like $15. And they're awesome because you got 3, these ones at least have 3 compartments. Some you can find with 2. I think they're usually just 2 or 3. I don't know if I've ever seen one that has 4. I'm sure you can find them obviously for smaller portions, but for me, I mean, it works out perfect because this holds about 2 cups. So depending on like this meal plan, we'll talk about it's a little bit trickier, but typically if I had 2 greens for the day, I am that person that's like, I'll just make one big salad because I don't like vegetables. But then I also love to use these for like my snack boxes, basically. So if I'm going to have carrots and hummus and an egg or something like that, I can just put everything in this, stays in the fridge. They stack on top of each other nice. They're easy to transport to work or to travel with or whatever you need. So I will give you guys a link. This might even be like a 5-pack of those would probably be one of my monthly prices. So anyways, that's part of meal prep. Okay, so here was probably my biggest takeaway. So anybody that wasn't able to watch the video that Christy posted a couple days ago that was very specific to the meal plan, my absolute biggest takeaway from that, not only, okay, well, first of all, I should start with, has everybody determined what meal plan you are on? Has anybody not done that yet? Thumbs up? Okay, sweet. So I know that like printing is not for everybody, but I'm kind of a like print it out. I need to visualize, I need to plan, and then if I want to set reminders or anything else on my phone, I will do that. So I'm an A plan. And so I was going through and looking at the blocks, right? And I was one of those people that was like, okay, well, getting up and eating a big breakfast is not going to be for me. And I mean, I would really rather just do like something small. So can I take my, one of the other meals and swap them out, or should I just move containers around? Here was the undeniable, straightforward feedback from Autumn. Do not move your containers around. Okay, the containers in the blocks that they are in are designed to go together and are designed for maximum fueling of our bodies. However, we can move around the meal blocks, just keep the containers together. So for example, for me, my plan is to work out in the morning. I am not going to get up and make eggs and whatever an hour at 5:30 in the morning. It will just not happen. But I will get up and drink Shakeology before I work out, which might even be tough for me. I'm just not the a person that can work out with a lot in my stomach. So but I do think it's very doable for me to get up and make a shake. So I'm going to take meal number 1, which is a red, a purple, and a teaspoon. And that will become my pre-workout block. So as everybody knows, Shakeology is a red. Then I will just probably add my half banana for my purple, and then whatever I decide for my teaspoon, which will probably be almond or coconut milk, because that's now not a yellow any longer. Almond and coconut milks qualify as a teaspoon in our meal plan, which is awesome. I think 8 ounces maybe even. I'll double check that for you guys if it's 4 or 8 ounces. But regardless, that block will now become my pre-workout block. I'll drink my Energize. Then I will have to just kind of see how my body feels as far as whether or not I will want to use hydrate. I have some probably on the cardio days. I definitely will. I'm just going to kind of get into it the first week and see if my body needs that. Otherwise, obviously, it's just a ton of water. Then my post-workout meal, I'm keeping in the block that it is in now, which means then I still have my pre-workout meal and meal option 2 and 3 for the course of the day. So I think there was a little confusion when we got the little obsessed, and it didn't seem like it was very clear. Like there was the meal blocks, and then it was like, wait, is that all the food I get to eat all day or what's left? You're still getting, you're going to still eat every 2 to 3 hours, plan it out over the course of the day. And if you're going to drink Recharge, I think Recharge, if you were on the every 3 hour plan, just kind of see how it actually works out for where you're going to be at the end of the night. It is recommended to drink your Recharge within 30 minutes of going to bed. The whole science behind that is that it is working to repair your muscles while you sleep. So if you take it 2 hours before you go to bed and you're still super active, it's not going to work the same in your body as if you are in a resting state, and it allows for total absorption into your muscles for repair, for recovery. So with that, okay, don't get creative with moving containers around, but you can move meal blocks around throughout the course of the day. Okay, so any questions in general about that?
I have a question.
Okay.
I think you said this, but I'm just making sure we can substitute coconut milk for almond milk.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Unsweetened almond, unsweetened coconut. I mean, it's not really preferred, and especially if you're vegan, you're not going to use regular cow's milk. But almond and coconut milk no longer count as a yellow. They are just a teaspoon equivalent now. So it allows for you to not have to waste a yellow on milk if you want to use milk in your shakes.
Cool. Thank you.
Hey, Tiff, I just looked and it's 8 ounces.
Thank you. 8 ounces. Yep. Cool. All right. Anything else on that front? So as Christy was talking about, making sure you are making a plan for when you are going to work out. We all know things change and whatever. I just want to encourage you guys to just walk into this with an open mind next week, and just walk into this knowing that you might end up with a 4-hour window between, or you might get jammed up and you're like, shoot, I'm only within a couple of hours, but I'm hungry, or I feel like if I'm going to kind of get back on track, I should go ahead and eat. Just do your best. I think it's going to take all of us, if you haven't already been doing it, it might take us a week. It might take 2 weeks to really get it figured out for when and how it works best for our schedules. I will tell you the weekends will be the toughest for me, because I'm typically just running around with my head cut off, and I will really have to make myself think about, okay, I need to run errands or run to the grocery store, or I'm going to maybe next weekend, I'm going to be traveling and on the road a little bit. I'm going to have to just be thoughtful and plan ahead, and know that I need to have my carrots and peanut butter with me, or whatever that snack looks like. The other piece that I already know for me that will be really tough is the post-workout meal within time. And so as you're looking at your times, and I can't remember if I shared this with you guys in my notes, but like you want to drink your Recover within 30 minutes of when your workout ends. You want to have your post-workout meal consumed within that like 1 to 2 hours of when you finish your workout. So just that's also kind of tricky in thinking of the time, because if you're a morning workout person like me, my routine is to get up, drink Energize, work out, and then I put Recover in my Shakeology and drink that while I'm getting ready for work. So now to kind of separate those two things will be different. Whether you drink orange or chocolate Recover, it does not matter. I really actually like having almond milk in my, or coconut milk in my chocolate Recover, but I'm going to probably just try it with water and a lot of ice and shake it up. It's just as good. It's great. But then when you're having your post-workout meal, it's 1 to 2 hours after your workout. So again, for me, and because this is kind of a big meal, when you look at it, at least on the A plan, you have to have a green, a red, a yellow, and a teaspoon in that meal. So when I finish doing my planning this afternoon, I'm going to be trying to think of things I can make ahead of time. So whether it's going to be egg cups, whether it's going to be like little mini breakfast burritos, like in my mind, I'm already thinking it will have some element of egg and vegetable in it. And then I'll have to figure out exactly how I want to use my yellow and my teaspoon. But I also know 1 to 2 hours after I typically work out, I'm on my way to work or at work. So I need to have something that's easy to warm up, can be portable, whatever that looks like. So the planning piece, honestly, it is the toughest for all of us. And it is going to take a little bit of work to kind of get out of our routines of how we do things now and just be mindful. The other piece for me is that we were talking about sharing on social media. Share with the people you work with what you're doing, because you might need to have a snack during an afternoon meeting. You might need to, say no to going out to lunch more than, maybe once a week you can sneak it in if they're going to a place that you can eat what you're supposed to at the restaurant they're going to go to. Have that conversation with them, because you don't want to be that person that's like all of a sudden saying no to everything or crunching on carrots in the middle of a meeting. I would probably slap you if you did that in one of my meetings, but I'm now going to have to be that person. So regardless, just have those conversations. Have those conversations at home. I hope that everybody has a very supportive network at home, but I know that my family will not 100% eat everything that I'm going to plan to eat, but I also hate making 2 or 3 extra meals. So we're going to meal plan as much as we can as a family. And you guys, while it is timed nutrition and we are, I looked at the food list, there wasn't anything really that I felt was eliminated or extremely eliminated from our normal 21-day fix plan. Remember, you can still eat foods you love, but make sure they fit into whatever the container block is for that day and the portion, and still enjoy a date night, still enjoy your family meals. Just be smart and be portioned, and you'll be able to stay on track. This is a non-alcohol for 80 days program. I know that is a little tough, particularly if you have a blog that has something to do with booze. So I'm going to have to be very honest with my self, first of all, as well as, my audience, people around me. And there's going to be birthdays to celebrate. There's going to be life, you guys, over the course of the next 80 days. Just be mindful. Just have one. And I'm not saying one big one, Ashley. I'm saying just enjoy your life, you guys, and know that this is not about being perfect, but this is about doing good job. This is about just doing the best that we can do. Okay? So outside of that, Any other general questions? Any other concerns or things that you're having right now with the nutrition plan? Oh, and before I forget, 2 more things. One, there are daily tracking sheets available to us in the program materials on demand. So I did print those out with the schedule, and naturally I can't find them. Perfect. You guys, it is broken out by what the workout is. That's the menu planner. Yes, it is awesome. I highly recommend going through it and planning out your day to the best of your ability. There are daily workout trackers as well. It is broken out by each phase. So for this one, I just printed out. There you go. Phase 1, day 1. It tells you what the workout is, what the moves are going to be, so you can track your weight. This is kind of like the fit test. Use these trackers. And if you don't print them out, keep a note, keep a running list. You can refer to them, obviously, and then just make notes and track it in your phone or in a notebook. It doesn't matter. But doing the tracking, it's just like tracking our food. It's another way to just track our progress and be accountable. So I would highly recommend doing it. If you are not using any performance products yet, and you've kind of been on the fence about whether or not to do them, you've kind of been on the fence whether or not to commit to buying a 40 serving tub of Energize, or I think recovers like 20 or 30 days. You guys, there is a sample box available. It is an awesome way. It's $20. Non-coach, I think it's $15 if you are a coach and have the coach discount. It is an awesome way to try the entire performance line. And they now give you a sample of each of the Recover flavors, which is awesome. But it literally comes in individual packs, just like this. It also comes with creatine, but we won't use creatine. Give that to your husband. But it's great. And truly, it's 1 serving of everything, okay? From your Energize, the Hydrate, both the Recovers, okay? Orange and chocolate, and then the nighttime vanilla recharge. So even if you have Recover and you have Energize, but you're not sure if you want to try recharge, it's nice. I mean, $20 for 1 sample is kind of steep, but at least then, if you're on the road, you've got individual packets of everything else, which is awesome. And unlike the Shakeology sample packs, you can order this sample pack as many times as you want. So you can also order Energize and Hydrate in individual packs. They're both 10 packs, I believe. And it's not as economical as if you would buy a tub. But if you're going to be on the road, if you are going to work out as soon as you get home and you want to drink your Energize while you're driving home, if the timing works out for you, having little packs is just a convenience, just like our packs of Shakeology are typically a convenience, right? Okay, let me see if I had any other quick notes here. Oh, yeah. One other thing I wanted to mention, I think I noted it last week, is that I would love for us to have virtual gym to help as part of our support network. So I can set up these Zoom links. So, and I know we're all in different time zones, so I know it's a little bit tricky. So we might just try it and see how it goes. But I can set up a Zoom link that's reoccurring every day from, actually I think I could set up the window block actually wide open for the day. I'll look into that because maybe we just need 1 link and you just could log in and maybe post a note in the group that you're getting ready to work out in 30 minutes and if anybody wants to join you. And it's not necessarily like you're trying to keep up with each other. It's just that you kind of feel like you're working out with somebody, even if they're across the country from you, and you've got a buddy that's kind of just keeping you going. So it's kind of a new thing. We haven't even done it yet on our team, but I have seen some other coaches doing it, and it seems like it's just another cool way to make, to connect with each other when we can't always go to each other's houses, and obviously work out together. So if that's something you guys are interested in, I will absolutely get it set up for us. Outside of that, you guys, I think that might cover us for this kickoff call. We will do them monthly, kind of in check with our fit tests and checking in with each other and just making sure before we start each phase that all questions are answered and everybody's feeling really good. So thanks for being here today and flexible with my crazy schedule of taking my kid to the emergency room this morning. But the floor is open. So if there are any questions, regardless, it's wide open now for you guys.
Hi, Tiff.
Hi, how's it going?
Happy to see you. I like your sweatshirt, sis.
Thanks, girl.
Can you speak a little bit to, I'm looking at the meal planner, and it has regular day, refeed day, and deplete day. Now I can infer from the names of the different days what they mean. Can you talk to that a little bit about the timing and that sort of thing and how that integrates and that sort of thing?
Yeah, so we won't get to refeed day until, I got to look at the schedule now. Refeed and deplete come towards the end of the program. So for right now, you really only have to focus on the regular day workouts at this point. I will look at the schedule here real quick and tell you when refeed comes into play, but I know that depletion comes into play when we have, I gotta look, let me grab the schedule really quick and I'll just pull that up for everybody.
I think deplete is just the final week.
The final week. Yep, I believe you're right. That goes with peak week. So if you are looking at each one of the phases, when you get to the bottom where it says peak week, then that is where, and give me 1 second, I'll just share my screen with you guys.
Depletion, I believe, is just you're taking out the carbs and you're just upping your proteins and fats, I think, is what that is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's proteins, but I know that's what, it's just for that final, let's get some awesome
Ready. Yeah. So if anybody did the shift shop workout and that meal plan, you're going to probably find that depletion week is very similar to that meal plan as a whole. No carbs, high protein, lots of veggies. Okay, so refeed day, Liz, you're going to see here, starts in phase 2. And I will be perfectly honest, there are some specific foods for our yellows that we are supposed to eat on our refeed days. And I read about this a little bit, like it's more about like glycemic replenishment in our muscles during those days. So it looks like we'll have a couple of days in phase 2, a couple in phase 3, and then if you do peak week, you would follow the depletion plan that week. Does that help a little bit? I'm just going to see if I can find. Oh, and you know where I remember her mentioning that about refeed week was, I think, in the video that Christy posted. And also it is in here. Modified refeed day every 2 weeks during phase 2 and phase 3. We'll do those refeed days the day before we do leg day. So additional carbs are added to the plan to replenish glycogen storage in the muscles. So the whole idea is to be able to work out harder on leg day, lift more reps. And it is not a cheat day just because you're seeing more carbs in the plan. So that may or may not have actually helped at all. And it looks like, if I'm looking at plan A, because that's what I'm following, that is the only difference in my plan is that I have those split yellows, so 2 extra yellows on those 2 days each other week.
Did you guys see I know some people said that for the autumn video that we shared that like the link was unavailable. Were you guys able to see it?
No.
Nobody was.
Have it blocked.
Okay. All right. Well, good to know. Then we will just try. She does every day do a live video for us in there, and we can just try and make a habit of like one of us just doing like a recap of like, hey, in today's video, Autumn said this, because it's really cool for us to learn from her, and why not share it, right? With you guys. And she's even said that like, I know you're all doing challenge groups too. Share away. So we'll plan to do that with what we're learning from her, and yeah, I'm so excited. Let's do this. It's gonna be hard, but it'll be worth it. I think we'll surprise ourselves and walk away feeling very accomplished and excited to just keep going, and just it's a great start to the year. So.
Was everybody able to access the Google Sheet for tracking points? I saw a couple people may have had trouble with that. Could not access? Okay, I'll figure out a different way to put that together. I don't know, I thought I had it open for everybody to edit, but I'll just take another look at that. You should not need a Gmail account, so if you don't have Gmail, it shouldn't matter. You just have to have access to the internet to get access to Google. So I will look into that today for us as well. Okay, what other things? Nothing. Okay, all right, if you have not posted your before photos, man up and get your photos posted. And find a friend and take some measurements. And we're going to be ready to go on Monday. If you do some meal prep this weekend, share your meal plan. I'm still planning, so I would love some inspiration. I've had a very hard time with food for the last month while I've been sick, so I'm trying to get my act together. Good? All right, gang. Well, if other things happen or pop up, just post them into the group, and I know we'll all be chiming in and supporting each other and be ready to go in a couple of days. Thanks for joining today, guys. See ya.